everyone. I know a lot of you have been asking me about specific topics that you wanted me to cover. And so I want to do a mini solo series to cover these specific popular topics and questions. And they do serve as the foundation for my clients and the people that I coach. I start with these kind of foundational basics and then tailor it according to each person's desires, what they want to accomplish, but these serve as a fundamental base. So without further ado, today is the first solo series that I'm going to do on a topic that I get a lot about, which is what is my morning and night routine? How do I get in the right mindset? So I always say your day, the day that you begin, like say for today, it started last night. So what I mean by that is when you go to bed, you run through thoughts in your head about the day and you run through scenarios, you replay certain scenarios. So if your night mindset isn't clean and cleared and ready for the next day, it will affect the morning. So that's why I think it's very important to consider and start planning for tomorrow at night. With that said, I make sure every single day, I myself, and I also tell my clients this, do something that's just for you. Something fun, something that feeds your soul. There's no purpose for it. It's not productive beyond just it's something that you want to do that makes you happy. It's great if it is productive. For example, if it's going to your favorite gym class, or it's reading a specific book that's been on the shelf for a while, or listen to a specific podcast that's been saved. Do something fun that's just for you. Because it's very important. Like, you answer so many things for the world. You are always, answering for your family, your friends, your colleagues, your clients. That you need to make sure that you reset. So I would say at night, always do something that's fun or just feeds your soul. And then when you hit the sheets at night in bed, it is so natural. Our brain is hardwired to think of threats and think of things that happen throughout the day. So it's very typical for us to rerun situations that weren't so positive that happened in their day, a comment, event that happened, and like trying to come up with a better scenario of you responding. We always do that in order because our body wants to keep us safe. Our body always looks for threats. But, a few things to keep in mind when you're running through these kind of, not so productive thoughts. First thing is, do these thoughts serve you anyway? Is it productive for you to review this? Is it productive for you to keep dwelling on it? Is it productive for you to come up with another snappy comment back when it's already passed? If the answer is no, you should dump it. It should not be something that you keep replaying in your mind. So something that I would say, like an affirmation, or basically something that I say to myself, and then therefore puts me more at ease, is I'll be in bed, I'll say, I release everything that happened during the day that doesn't serve me. You just say that out loud in your head, and you really feel yourself letting go of the weight of the negative things that happen for you and just let it go, right? Few things about negative comments, right? When things or comments make you feel off, I want you to ask yourself, do these people or these situations have your best interests? I don't know, say a colleague made a comment or your boss made a comment. Do they have your best interests at heart, right? If the comments that are coming in are not like productive, they're not really trying to make you better, they're just there to project, or they're there trying to make you bad for whatever way. If there's no genuine intent in that comment to make you better or that situation, you need to dump it. It's not worth your energy, right? Something to keep in mind. Also, the people who are, giving you an opinion or a thought or whatever, are they living the life that you want? Say, for example, I don't know, you posted something and you had a nasty comment on insert social media platform you use. Do you know this person? Does this person even know you? Does this person have the life that you want? Like, or say, for example, this person made a comment about, I don't know, your love life, right? Does this person have such a great love life? So just be very mindful of the comments and the criticism that you let in, right? There's constructive criticism from people who genuinely want your best interest, who genuinely want you to grow. And that's something that you're going to know, you're going to instinctively feel and say, like, oh, I should probably, because inside you probably feel that they're right about something. So you're going to want to look into it, explore it, and maybe absorb that criticism in. But if it's just a nasty comment, keep in mind only hurt people hurt people. So if someone's coming at you with a nasty comment, someone's coming at you that makes you feel icky or off, it's because they're feeling icky and off. So why would you absorb how they're feeling? You were feeling just fine and dandy. You were feeling great before you let those comments in. So keep in mind that when you aren't feeling good, it's probably because you're letting other people's thoughts and other people's opinions in. And you have to be very picky, just like you're probably picky about the food that you eat. You're probably picky about how you spend your money. You're probably picky about like the things that you buy. You need to be even pickier about the things that you let in your brain and the feedback that you get, because not every feedback is there to serve your highest good. So be very cautious of that, right? Obviously, I'm not saying if you mess up on something, or you feel like you owe someone an apology, you need to absorb that and apologize and, do the right thing. But some random person or even someone who's, say, close to you makes a comment that is unwarranted, not for your best interest, and whatever they're giving you comments about, say it's their love life, and they're telling you how you should be as a single person, but they've been divorced 4 or 5 times and they're still unhappy with their life, it's probably not the person you want to take advice from, right? And I mentioned close friends. People evolve. Friendships evolve, right? You could be really close with someone for, I don't know, 5, 6 years, and like something happens, the energy changes. Maybe you start growing, they start getting stagnant, and the gap between where you are and where they are is too high. So for them to feel better, they have to bring you down, right? Just because someone's been in your life for a long time does not mean they still know the version of you that you become, and they have your best intention. So just be very mindful of that, of any comments that come in from people that happen throughout the day, even if it's your family, even if it's your boss. Maybe they had a bad day, right? Maybe they're going through something. So a lot of times people give negative comments as a projection, right? Maybe they're not liking something that's happening in their life, they're projecting onto you. Be very picky about the comments you let in. And at night, it is your job to purge yourself from these comments, right? If there's areas that you need to work on and you realize, oh, you know what, that was a really good, that was a criticism, I should absorb it, mentally log it, put it on your to-do list at night, so that when you wake up, it's like, okay, let me revisit this. Let me have a conversation with this person, dive deeper. Let me do some homework and refine X, Y, Z, A, B, C that they pointed out on, right? Again, at night, we're dumping the trash that doesn't serve you, and we're only keeping on the comments or the things that are going to help you become the highest version of you or your favorite version of you. Something to keep in mind when you go to bed. Also, when I go to bed, I always think about 3 things I'm grateful for that happened during the day, and then 3 things I'm excited to accomplish or achieve or experience on the next day. And then I kind of slowly drift into bed. Some people like to put on, some of my clients like to put on like meditation music. Some people like to put on, affirmation, YouTube videos, whatever floats your boat, whatever. And, depending on what you're trying to work on, it could be your love life, your career, your health. You could put on different meditations for that, and different, I would call like music that have different frequencies as well. So definitely go explore, have some fun. But like nighttime is when your subconscious is like on high alert. So whatever you tell yourself before you go to bed really gets suppressed your subconscious, which drives a lot of your decisions, and you don't even know why it's driving it. So make sure you're going back to bed in a clean slate, very optimistic, ready for the next day, and put on your music, put on your affirmations, whatever makes you feel most peaceful and excited for the next day. That's my like nighttime routine. When it comes to more morning, right? I'm really big on, you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? I used to be this. I used to be the girl who would literally sleep with my phone on the chest because I covered global clients. So the moment an email pops in at 3 a.m., it would ring and I would wake up middle of the night and start texting away and start responding to emails and phone calls and whatever, right? What does that do? That ruins my whole morning. It throws me off track, right? It's obviously not healthy. I actually got shingles when I was 25 or 26, and thank God I did. Because if anyone knows that, you only get shingles usually when you're in your 50s, when you're really stressed. So the fact that I was half of 50, half the, normal age and getting it, my body was just constantly in stress. And I'm so glad I went through that, because I promised myself that day in the doctor's office, I will never put anything, I will never put my career before my health. Hard stop. And I'm so glad I learned that lesson early, but that's a perfect example why you gotta take care of yourself first. So why is it important? Before I answer the world, before I answer all the requests of my colleagues, my teammates, people that report to me, before anyone, even my clients, right? I need to be in the highest vibration or highest version of me. So what do? I literally do not touch the phone until I get all my morning routine done. All right. So my morning routine, which has helped a lot of people that I've shared this with, is and keep in mind, you could tailor this, add, subtract, whatever it may be, but find something that works for you. But for me, I'm literally still in bed, and I will think of connects the night before to today. I think of three things that happened yesterday that I'm grateful for. Sometimes it ends up being the same things I thought about it from the night before. Sometimes I think of three new things, whatever comes to mind. And then I think of one thing that I was like dreading to do yesterday, or I thought it was going to be a horrible outcome, that ended up being not so bad or ended up being amazing. For example, if I was dreading going to a specific event and dealing with certain energies, and it ended up being really productive. I met amazing people. I met someone that could be like a future someone to come on my podcast, or a future client. I remind myself, oh, like it wasn't that bad. And I always do this, and I train myself to think of one thing I was dreading and then ended up being not bad, is because we like, again, to run. Our body wants and our mind wants to keep us safe. We love to think about the most negative thing, the worst case scenario all the time, right? So I'm training my brain. Every single time you think it's going to go to hell, it doesn't. It's not so bad. Or like I'm dreading doing a specific report and I'm dreading doing my taxes. I'll remember that it wasn't that bad reviewing everything. It literally took you like 20 minutes. So I always start with three things I'm grateful for from the day before. One thing that I was dreading to do or thinking it was going to be horrible, and it ended up being not so bad or actually great. And then I think of three things I'm really excited about or looking forward for today to prime my brain, right? And when I think about it, I also think of how I would feel. It's super important. You have to feel as if you're living that experience or having that thing. So whatever three things I'm looking forward to achieving or having, experiencing, I literally envision myself in that moment. I feel those feelings, and that's how you call it in, right? So anyone who's new to the whole idea of vibrations and all that stuff, it's not woo-woo, it's not spiritual, it's literally science. Name any of your favorite scientists, they were actually the most spiritual people, because think about it, creating electricity, Tesla creating certain wheels, machinery, right? Creating anything that didn't exist before requires complete, utter faith when the whole world tells you you're nuts, right? Flying to the moon, like humans going to the moon, right? Before all of this that's happening today, everyone probably thought we were crazy. This would never happen, right? So science or innovation, or people who actually creators are, scientists, they're actually the most spiritual, which just means they have faith in their vision and what they're creating. That's all it is. So back to the topic of vibrations, right? What you think affects how you feel, right? So if you're thinking about, like, I don't know, if you're thinking about being chased by a bear, you're going to feel anxious, and you're going to project this vibration of anxiousness or fear, right? If you're thinking about, I don't know, your favorite memory as a child, when I think, well, maybe doing road trips with my family, how peaceful and happy I was and exciting it was, right? When I embody that feeling, I like put out a vibration of excitement, peace, thrill. Whatever you put out is whatever you call it, right? It's very simple. Think of like a radio station. There's different channels in a radio station, right? Depending on what radio station you click on, it's the music that you hear, right? So if you're putting out or clicking, fear, you're probably going to hear some like heavy metal, anxious, scary, creepy Halloween music, right? If you're putting out positive, excited music, you're probably going to tune into some pop or some romance music or some upbeat, uplifting music. So it's super important the energy that you put out, and that's why your vibrations matter. What you think matter, what you feel matters. And so in the morning, I always think of three things that I'm excited to experience for the day or achieve, and I make sure I feel those feelings. That way I can call in the things that I want, right? So just to recap, the night before, I dump out anything that needs to be dumped out. I keep any positive criticism that needs to be reflected on the next day. And then I go to bed and go to peace, be at peace. Wake up in the morning. I think of three things that I'm grateful for yesterday. Oh, sorry. The night before, I also thought about three things that I'm grateful for before I go to bed. In the morning, I think of three things that I'm grateful for from yesterday. One thing that I was dreading to do yesterday, but ended up being wonderful. And three things I'm excited to experience for the day. That's a recap, right? The last thing I kind of add on top of it is affirmations. So, affirmations, if anyone's new to this, is basically you saying things to yourself. So, you program your mind to believe in your subconscious these specific things about you, right? The word I am, whatever comes after it, is the most powerful thing that you can ever say. If you like, even Einstein says, whether you believe the universe is friendly, I'm paraphrasing, friendly or not so friendly, you are right. It's whatever you believe, right? Whatever you believe in your mind wants to be right. It's going to look for evidence out in the world to prove you right. So, for example, if you say things like, there are no good men out there, everyone's an F boy, everyone just wastes my time, your brain wants you to be right. So it's going to keep looking for the F boys. It's going to keep looking for the emotionally unavailable men because you keep thinking of that, right? Versus if you say things like, there are so many amazing men in this world that I could have a beautiful relationship, right? You would be open to all the options when you walk down the street, when you go to the gym, when you go shopping in Whole Foods. So whatever you say and you believe is what you create in reality, right? So in the morning, I have affirmations depending on, usually it's around the same thing, but there's sometimes I'll tweak it based on what I want to experience for the day, right? For example, if I had a really important meeting or a presentation to give, I I would say something like, I am a powerful, influential force in nature, and I can influence positively with my words, right? Or like, I am a powerful force that can um, easily educate and explain my ideas to other, or my ideas are easily received and understood, period, whatever it may be, right? Or if you're calling in, say, a love life, like, I am a magnetic being that calls in beautiful soulmates, or I am a magnetic being that calls in or attracts emotionally available, wonderful human beings that I could have a beautiful relationship with. You can tweak it. The only thing I would say for affirmations is it has to be positive. It can't be like, I don't want, it doesn't understand negative. So don't say don't be negative. And second thing is timelines, right? You have to say it as it's happening in the present tense. You can't be like, I will receive. Just say, I receive, or I am receiving. So make sure everything's always in the positive and in the current present tense. That's super important. But the whole point of affirmations is it sets your day and basically tells your brain what to look out for during the day. So that's super important. And affirmations can be one thing, it could be five things. I usually do probably one a day, but some of my clients like to do one for their career, one for their love life, one for their health. Get creative, have fun with it. And then it's also helpful to think about this affirmation that you've thought about during in the morning, at lunchtime, and then also at nighttime. So I hope this helps. I know it's a lot. It's a lot in terms of a morning and night routine, but I've definitely noticed that once I do my affirmations, I do my morning and night routine, I wake up in the day, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm like untouchable. Like anything potentially negative that doesn't serve me, it's so easy for me to just drop it and let it go. And my mind's just constantly looking for the things that I was affirming, constantly looking for the positive, and I'm so much more focused in the flow. The other thing is, keep in mind these affirmations or the doing your gratitude in the morning, you're actually listening to your inner voice. That's why we do all this stuff, right? Your inner voice, your intuition, your spirit, whatever you want to call it, you're religious, you're spiritual, you understand this. There's something in you that is hyper intelligent that is created to, whether it be your source or greater powerful force. There's guidance within you. I think we're sometimes so quick to get opinions from everyone else and all these experts that do they really know more than yourself and what you want? So it's so important in the morning to tune into your inner guidance, your intuition. What do you really want? What do you really want to experience? And then you go about your day. Because once you're so clearly focused and aligned with yourself, it's very easy for you when you go out in the world to say, yes, that's aligned with me and my goals. No, that's not. And I politely just excuse myself. Yes, I want to call that in. I want to take on this project. I want to do this in. No, I will not take on this negativity. So I hope this helps. Just kind of resets your morning and your balance, and make sure you're going in with a very productive day. And yeah, let me know how it goes. Try for, I would say, for a week. Would love to hear your feedback and see how it works for you. And yeah, if you have any fun affirmations that you come up with, do share it with the live community, because we love creative things. We love inspiring, helping each other. So don't be shy, be creative, and enjoy your morning and night routine. See you soon.